All right, it's time for the foreclosure forecast. Today we've got an amazing topic for you guys. It's called After Purchasing Your Home, Put Your Home in a Trust. It just makes sense. Very few people are thinking this way, but it does make sense.
Absolutely.
We have a guest in the studio today, Mr. Kevin Kelley, also from Chicago Title, as
Kevin.
KK.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Kevin has some experience with this, so it's great to have people in the industry that'll help us out here on Keeping It Real Estate. Kevin's going to do that for the topic. So it says it all, right? After you purchase the home, you put it in a trust, and we're going to try to explain to the listeners what a trust is.
Yes.
And then we're going to tell them why it's beneficial. And I'm going to ask you to tell me why people just don't do it.
Okay. First reason people don't do it is you have to go to an attorney. And depending on which attorney you go to, it can either be very complicated or very simple. Doing your trust, you can do it right online if you choose to through LegalZoom.com. I don't always recommend it. I recommend if you're going to do that, start there, have an attorney review it, pay him a couple $100, and
a couple $100
there. Well, depend.
An hour.
I don't know where you get your attorneys.
Iowa.
He's on the corner or something with a trench coat. Yeah, I got it. You want to do some law?
And they can sell you a watch at the same time. And the major reasons, two biggest problems we see: probate and being able to pass your property on to your kids.
Explain what probate is.
Probate is if someone passes away and they are the only vested owner, that asset goes and becomes the court's issue. It becomes the court's problem. Anyone who thinks they have an interest in that property has to petition the court. There has to be an attorney. There has to be an executor. Lots
it's a real
more.
pain.
It's a mess.
And the shortest amount of time that will ever be resolved, particularly with the bankruptcy courts the way they are now, all the court system, probably 120 days minimum. And that's just to get a court date.
So is it simple to put it in a trust?
It really is. You get a copy of the vesting deed, which you get from the title company. You contact your attorney, or again, you can do it through LegalZoom, and it is just that. The document comes out. You need to name some beneficiaries. Who's going to be in charge of the property?
Can you spell my name? Eric, E-R?
Yeah. Mine's shorter, Kevin Kelley. It's 10 letters. And that's kind of where it starts. And then literally you just give us that document. It's about $21 to record it. And then your vesting is in the trust, not in individuals who may or may not pass.
So is it basically insurance?
There is no insurance on that particular transaction.
Does it work like insurance? I mean, you're putting it in a trust in case something bad happens.
Right, unexpected.
And you don't want your heirs, your kids, whoever it might be that's got to take over, you don't want them having to go through the crazy process.
Exactly.
If it's in the trust, it's all set out.
This is
what's going to happen, and they can just walk in, sell the house, or whatever they want to do.
Exactly.
And it's nice and clean. So
Exactly.
By doing it, what I'm hearing you say is you're taking care of the people who are going to be there after you pass, or if you leave us early.
Hey.
Well,
go ahead, Kevin.
Where we see a lot of this, unfortunately, Southern California is the divorce capital of the country. So I know it's shocking. So, so if you have assets going into a marriage that you want to keep with your heirs, as opposed to maybe wife or husband number 2 or 3 or 10,
that's only in deep Orange County.
Then that solves that entire issue. Because California is a community property state, that means that the minute you walk down that aisle, what's mine is yours and yours is mine.
And I think that actually leads into a question that I have. And another topic we talked about last week is going into the purchase, investing, maybe some recommendations. I know some people ask me, should I go joint tenancy? Should I go tenant in common?
And we're actually going to talk about that either next week or the week after, the vesting part, because I think that's important as well. How many people, in your estimation, do this, put their home in a trust after they buy it?
I know
not enough.
Percentage, 5%.
5%.
And like the probate courts right now are dealing with $8.7 trillion worth of assets.
I'm sorry, did you say trillion?
I did say trillion.
With a T?
Yeah, that's a T.
That's a lot of money.
It is. So, even though people know they need to do this, only 5% of them do that.
Okay, so hopefully we can bump that up to 5.2%.
That'd be great.
With our listeners on the show.
I mean, I'm sure the probate attorneys won't love me for that, but it can be avoided so easily. It's $21, And even a standard trust through an attorney is about $1,200.
And guys, honestly, probates can really be such a heartache, especially when it comes with a death in the family. I mean, my family personally experienced this, and it took years. And quite honestly, I don't know if it's still handled, but it really can be a mess.
It's
so.
well worth the $1,200
Yes,
on you,
absolutely.
you as the beneficiary, and if, of course, if you're going to sell the property, and on your agent, because now your agent can sell the house out of a trust, and you don't have to go through the
courts.
very difficult court system.
It really is almost like a will that just deals with the real property. It just tells us, the title company, what your intent was and what you wanted to do, and what you wanted to have.
Here comes the part of the show where we kind of anger the real estate profession.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that most real estate agents don't give this advice to their clients. So where, I mean, would the client get this advice from their agent, or would they get it from the title representative? Would they get it from an attorney?
I don't think they're getting it at all.
Who in the transaction
that's the 5%,
should be telling them?
you know?
It should come from the selling agent, which is actually the term that we use for the agent for the
buyer's
buyer.
Yes.
Okay, every purchase that
The selling agent is for the buyer.
Yes,
Okay.
because they've actually sold the property for the seller to the buyer. Although it's more recognized as the buyer's agent to the public.
Awesome.
Okay, more confusing stuff.
Well,
but
here's the part that's not confusing. You need to think about doing this as the purchaser of a home.
Yes.
It's relatively inexpensive. It's relatively simple to do. Ask somebody to help you if you need it. But think about this. When you buy the home, put it in the trust and make it easy, because nobody, as we witnessed earlier when Darian was talking about the victims of Seal Beach,
Seriously.
nobody knows.
Exactly.
And so just go ahead, because when we leave, it's the people that we leave behind that we leave with all the baggage.
all the burden.
So let's lighten that baggage up. And Kevin Kelley
Exactly.
from Chicago Title, we really appreciate you coming into
Hey,
the show
thanks for
today
having
Kevin
me, guys.
and helping us through. It's a great topic, and we maybe we'll expand on the vesting piece
Yeah,
of it.
gotta have
in
you
an
back,
upcoming
Kevin, for
show.
that.
Kevin, thank you very
Not
much.
a problem. Thanks for having me,
Appreciate
guys.
Bye,
it.
Kevin.
It's time to thank somebody who's
There's
supporting
cocktails
the
in the
show.
lobby.
We have a few supporters here on KBH, particularly here with Keeping It Real Estate on the Beach. One of them is homeownershipuniversity.com. We appreciate their support, and it's a great place to go for information, or you can give them a call at 714-538-4404, homeownershipuniversity.com. We thank you for your support.